How to fix RDR2 muddy graphics during rain. Welcome back to TAA. During our recent performance analysis of Red Dead Redemption 2, we noticed a severe degradation in visual quality, specifically during dynamic weather events. The rain effects often cause the screen to look overly soft, pixelated, or completely muddy, ruining the immersion of the wilderness. TAA's technical team immediately launched an investigation into the graphics engine to isolate the root cause of this artifacting, testing multiple configurations to compile this definitive guide. Our testing showed that the most direct solution involves adjusting how the engine calculates individual rain droplets. Navigate directly to your advanced graphics settings and change the particle quality setting to Ultra. We confirmed this forces the game to render weather particles at full resolution rather than downscaling them into a blurry mess. TAA's analysis revealed that driver-level performance overrides can conflict with in-game particle rendering. Open your NVIDIA control panel and navigate to the Adjust. Slide the master preference slider all the way to Quality to prevent the driver from compressing alpha textures like rain and fog. During our hardware diagnostics on mobile setups, we noticed immediate visual degradation when the system artificially throttled the GPU. Always ensure your gaming laptop is plugged directly into the wall adapter while playing this demanding title. This guarantees the graphics card receives the full wattage required to process complex weather simulations without dropping dynamic resolution. We investigated the TAA implementation in the game engine and found it is notoriously aggressive during high-motion weather states. Lowering the TAA setting from high to medium significantly reduces the Vaseline-like blur applied over the entire screen during rainfall. This simple tweak immediately recovers lost texture detail on characters and environments. To counteract the inherent softness of the temporal anti-aliasing, our team recommends utilizing the built-in sharpening tool. Scroll down in your graphics menu to find the TAA Sharpening slider and increase it to at least 75%. This artificially restores the crisp edges of environmental objects that get lost when rain effects fill the viewport. Red Dead Redemption 2 heavily relies on volumetric lighting to simulate the hazy atmosphere of a storm. Our optimization tests proved that setting volumetric quality to medium or high prevents the lighting system from creating blocky, muddy artifacts in the air. This ensures the fog and rain interact smoothly with light sources like lanterns and lightning. If you have the graphical horsepower, TAA discovered that forcing supersampling is an incredible way to eliminate muddy weather visuals. Go to the Advanced Graphics menu and increase your resolution scale to 1/25x or 1/5x of your native monitor resolution. The game will render internally at a higher pixel count, drastically sharpening every raindrop and mud puddle. For users leveraging NVIDIA upscaling technologies, we found that DLSS performance mode handles rain extremely poorly, causing severe ghosting. Switch your DLSS setting over to quality mode to feed the AI upscaler much more bass. This eliminates the smeared trails left behind by fast-moving rain particles across the screen. Similarly, our AMD hardware testing revealed that FSR requires specific tuning to handle dynamic weather events without artifacting. If you are using Fidelity FX Super Resolution, ensure it is set strictly to quality or native AA mode. This prevents the spatial upscaler from turning the complex rain layers into a pixelated soup. When in-game settings are not enough, TAA highly recommends utilizing driver-level post-processing for an instant clarity boost. Press Alt plus F3 to open the NVIDIA Freestyle overlay and add the Sharpen filter to your game profile. Adjust the intensity carefully until the muddy rain textures vanish, giving you ultimate control over the final. During heavy thunderstorms, the game engine casts thousands of dynamic shadows that can blur together into muddy patches on the ground. Upgrading your soft shadows, setting to high or ultra, prevents these shadow maps from bleeding into the terrain textures. Our visual analysis confirms this, creates a much cleaner distinction between mud, grass, and water pools. Sometimes the graphics pipeline stores corrupted weather shader data, leading to persistent blur regardless of your settings. Navigate to your Documents folder, open the Rockstar Games directory, and delete the temporary cache files inside the Settings folder. We verified that forcing the game to rebuild these shader pipelines completely resolves localized graphical glitches during rain. Our deep dive into the engine backend revealed that the default Vulkan API can sometimes mismanage weather rendering on specific driver branches. Switch your graphics API from Vulkan to DirectX 12 in the Advanced Settings menu. We found this completely eliminates the sudden drop in texture clarity that many players experience when a storm rolls in. In-game texture filtering often fails to apply correctly to wet surfaces, causing muddy ground textures stretching into the distance. Open your GPU control panel and manually force anisotropic filtering to 16x for the game executable. Our testing showed this ensures that wet mud and puddles remain crystal clear, even at extreme viewing angles. Screen Space Ambient Occlusion dictates how objects cast soft shadows on each other, which heavily impacts visual clarity on overcast days. Elevating the SSAO setting to high ensures that lighting transitions are accurately calculated, rather than looking like smudged dirt. This keeps the environment looking three-dimensional and sharp, instead of flat and muddy. Finally, our diagnostics team identified a strange behavior where Windows tries to apply generic optimizations over the game window, ruining visual scaling. Locate the game executable, right-click to open Properties, and disable full-screen optimizations under the Compatibility tab. Running the game in exclusive full-screen without Windows interference guarantees the purest, sharpest. Don't forget to follow Tenabalta for more.